Happy Friday, first grade, and happy almost Halloween. This week we have been learning all about pumpkins, and I am so excited because yesterday we learned how to estimate. We learned that estimating is a really good guess, and we estimated how many seeds we think are either going to be in our pumpkin here at school, or if you have a pumpkin at home that you've been working with. Today is finally the day that we get to learn exactly how many seeds are in our pumpkin that we've been working with. Before we open up our pumpkin, let's review what we learned yesterday. Yesterday, we learned 2 strategies to help us estimate. The first strategy we learned was to count the lines on the outside of our pumpkins. We learned that the more lines are on the outside, the more seeds are in the inside. I am thinking there are a lot of lines on the outside of this pumpkin here. So I'm thinking that there are going to be a lot of seeds on the inside. If you have a pumpkin at home, what do you think? Do you have a lot of lines on the outside of yours? Or not? What does that mean? The second strategy that we learned is that the smaller the pumpkin is, the more seeds on the inside of it. Now we looked at 2 pumpkins yesterday, this one and a little itty bitty one that was painted. And I'm thinking that since that itty bitty one that was painted is smaller, it's gonna have more seeds. I don't know. How many seeds do you think this is gonna have? What was your estimate yesterday? Okay, are you ready to find out how many seeds are on the inside of our pumpkins? Before we do, let's go over some do's and don'ts for opening up your pumpkin so that we can be safe while we're doing it and having fun. Rule number 1, always have an adult with you to help you open up your pumpkin. We're going to be using some sharp objects to open it, so you need to have someone at home that can help you do that. Now that you have your adult, you're ready to get the materials you need to open up your pumpkin. Your first thing is to get a newspaper or towel, something to put under your pumpkin so that when you open it up, it's not a huge mess. Your next item you need to grab is your pumpkin. Place your pumpkin on top of either your towel or newspaper. Your third step is to get a spoon. This is what you're going to use to scoop out everything from the inside of your pumpkin. I would get a large spoon if I were you. There's a lot that's going to be in there. Your next step is to get a large bowl or a store bag so that everything that you scoop out of your pumpkin, you can put all of that into. Your last step is for your parent. Get a pumpkin carving tool or a knife, something sharp that you can open up the top of your pumpkin with. Okay, it's time for the adult that's with you to do the first step. Have them get the pumpkin carving tool or knife and cut a circle around the top stem on the pumpkin. Now I want you to carefully grab onto the stem of your pumpkin and take off the top of it. It should easily come off because that's what your parent just cut a hole for. Once you take the top off, you're going to use that big spoon to scoop all the insides of your pumpkin out and put that into your bowl or grocery bag. And don't forget to scoop off everything on the top of your pumpkin as well. We don't want to forget those seeds. I have all the insides of my pumpkin in my bowl. So now it's time to clean my seeds. I want to throw away all the gooey, stringy stuff that was inside my pumpkin, and I just want to keep my seeds. Now that my seeds are all cleaned, it's time to sort our seeds so that we can start counting them. In our story, they figured out that if we sort our seeds in groups and skip count, it's easier to come up with the final number of seeds instead of counting each individual one. We are going to sort our seeds in groups of 10. I just finished grouping my pumpkin seeds into groups of 10. Look how many groups of 10 there are. I'm thinking there are going to be a lot of pumpkin seeds when we finish counting them. What do you think? It's time to count our pumpkin seeds. Remember, we're skip counting by 10. Will you skip count by 10 with me? 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. 110, 120, 130, 140, 150, 160, 170, 180, 190, 200. 210, 220, 230, 240, 250, 260, 270, 280, 290, 300, 310, 320, 330, 340, 350, 360, 370, 380, 390, 400, 410, 420, 430, 440, 450, 460, 470, 480, 490, 500 seeds. 510, 520, 530, 540, 550, 560, 570, 580, 590, 600 seeds. 610, 620, 630, 640, 650, 660, 670, 680, then I have 681, 682, 683, 684, 685, 686 seeds. Wow. Can you believe that there were 686 seeds in our pumpkin? I am so glad that we didn't count by one and we decided to count by tens because that would have taken a long time. This week we have been working with pumpkins. Today we finally got to figure out how many total seeds are in our pumpkins. Either the one that we've been working with in my lessons or the one that you've been working with at home. How many pumpkin seeds total are in your pumpkin? Wow, that's a lot of seeds. Today, you are going to go into Schoology and you are going to create a way that you can show us how many seeds were in your pumpkin and upload that to Schoology. There's a challenge for you to extend your thinking about pumpkin math today if you would like to do that. If not, make sure you do your Dreambox submission and you're all done for the day. After opening up our pumpkin, scooping everything out, and counting our seeds, I decided to carve the pumpkin. If you have a pumpkin at home that you've been working with, you can carve yours as well. Just make sure you have an adult help you. If you do carve your pumpkin, make sure you upload a picture of it to Schoology. We would love to see your jack-o'-lanterns. Have a fantastic weekend, first grade, and tomorrow have a happy Halloween.